Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, you're welcome. Kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload new videos. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys easiest way on how to draft corset pattern, and these are all the tools we'll be using to achieve that. So keep watching and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. These are the measurements needed for the corset, and now the pattern paper is folded into two. What you see me doing now is measuring the shoulder, which is 16 inches divided by 2, and then I go down by half an inch for the shoulder slope. After that, I slant it like that to create our shoulder slope. So now we mark the bust point, which is 10 inches from the shoulder to the bust point. So what you see me doing now is placing my tape measure on the shoulder line to wherever the 10 inches is, which will serve as our bust point. So what I'm doing now is just quickly drawing a straight ruler for the bust point. And after that, we take it down to the under bust, which is 13 inches. So repeat same thing, and then we measure the length of the top. So the length of the top I'll be working with is 18 inches. Then I'll also draw the straight line also. And after that, I'll label it. And then I label it bust point, under bust, and the waistline. After that, I'll come to the shoulder line, and then I'll come down by 8 inches. And then after that, I will label this 8 inches as our chest line. So this new line will be our chest line. So after that, I will draw a straight line from the shoulder to meet the chest line, like what I'm doing right now. So after that, I'm going to create the armhole. So what I'm going to do now is to divide my bust measurement by 4. Then I mark it down like that. And now I'll get the midpoint of this line. And then after getting the center of it, I will go in by half an inch. Then I'll go in by half an inch. So now I will use my curved ruler to connect all the points together to create the armhole. So after that, I'll work on the neck area. So I'll be using 4 inches wide and 4 inches depth. And then I use my circle ruler to form like a round neckline. So now I'll go to the bust point line and then measure my nipple to nipple measurement, which is also known as the bust span measurement. And then I'll divide it by 2. So I mark it there, and also measure same thing that we did on the bust point. I measure same thing on the waistline, and then I connect it with my straight ruler, just like what I'm doing right now. So after that, I will come to the shoulder line and divide what I have here into 2. So now I'm going to mark the center of it like this. So after marking the center of it, I will connect this shoulder point to the bust point, just like what I'm doing now. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just watch it closely. So I'm just going to draw the line to meet the bust point like this. So this is what it looks like. So now the next thing to do is to come back to this bust point and measure what I have from the bust point to the under bust point, which is 3 inches. So I'll be using these 3 inches to form a circle. So I'll use this 3 inches to form a circle. So what you need to do is to make sure your 3 inches is at the center of that bust point, and you just go round to form a circle like what I'm doing right now. Just watch what I'm doing, then you understand. So I'm marking the point and I'm connecting the points together to form the right circle. So after that, I'm just going to trace it again with my pen so that the circle can be very visible. Just like what I'm doing right now. So this is what it looks like after. So now we work on the corset. So now I come to the waistline and I go in by 1/2 inch, or you can use 3/4 of an inch, depends. So I go in by 1/2 inch and also come out again by another 1/2 inch. And then I measure same thing on the under bust line. So I measure same measurement on the other bust line, just like what I'm doing right now. And then I use my straight ruler to connect the 2 points together like this. So now I'm going to come down by 1 inch on the bust point. So I'm going to come down by 1 inch on the bust point and then use my curved ruler to connect that new point together like what I'm doing right now. Just like this. So this is what it looks like after. So to determine how deep you want the neckline to be, on the chest line I will come down by 1/2 inch. If you want it to be lower, you can go in by 1 inch, you understand? So I go down by 1/2 inch and I also come in again by 1/2 inch, then I mark it. So now I come to the under bust measurement and I measure what I have here, which is 1.5 inches, and then I add extra 1/2 inches to it, which is 2 inches. So I'll be showing the 2 inches on the upper part of this circle line. So I measure in 3/4 of an inch here like this. And then the remaining one, I mark it out here like this. And then you connect the point to meet the bust point. Just like this. So after that, I will use my curved ruler to connect the point together like this. So this is what it looks like after. So the next thing is for me to connect that line to the 1/2 inch line that we marked earlier, just like this. Then I will connect from this line to meet the under bust line, like this. So now one side of the cup is ready. So this is one side of the cup. So now I'll come to this part here, the armhole, and then I measure the midpoint of it like this. Then come down by 1/2 inch and draw a new straight line. So this new straight line will be our chest line. And then I connect it together like this. And then I also connect it together with the under bust line like this. Just watch what I'm doing closely. So now the two sides of the cups are ready. So now I'll take the body measurement divided by 4. I mark it there. And then the allowance for this cup side, I mark it there. Then I will add the sewing allowance to it, which is 1.5 inches. Then I mark it there. So I come to the waistline, I'll do same thing. I measure my waist circumference divided by 4. I mark it down like this. And then the dart allowance, I mark, which is 2 inches, I mark it down. And then I add the sewing allowance, which is 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect everything with my straight ruler. So this is what it looks like. You see, it's very easy. If you don't understand, just watch what I'm doing closely. And then I label it 1, 2, then the center front, and then the side front. So the next thing for me is to cut it out. So I'll be cutting the only part that we need out. So yes, I'm just cutting out the only thing we need out. So as you can see, I'm only cutting out the marker line, because the marker line is the one that we'll be using to make the corset. So that's what you see me cutting out now. So guys, this is what it looks like after cutting it out. So I'm cutting out the cups pattern now. And then so this is what it looks like after trimming out the one we'll be using to make the corset. So guys, this is what it looks like after cutting it out. You see how nice and easy it looks. So I already cut out the back piece and it's already unfolded. So I'm just cutting out the bust point, the shoulder, the under bust, like everything we did for the front piece. So right now I'm just repeating same thing on the back piece also. So now on this chest line, I will measure the bust span measurement divided by 2. I mark it down and I mark same thing on the waistline. Then I connect the point together. So on the chest line, I go down by 1 inch. And then on the waistline, I go in and out like this by 1/2 inch. And then I connect the points together to meet that 1 inch that we marked earlier. So now on this bust point, I will measure 4 inches like this and then rule a straight line on it like this. Then I will come to the chest line and measure down 1/2 inch like this. And I use my curved ruler to connect it to that new line that we marked earlier like this. You can use your free hand if you don't have curved ruler. So now what I'm doing now is I divide my bust circumference by 4 and then add 1.5 inches allowance. Same thing, I measure my waist circumference, I mark the dart allowance and then the sewing allowance. And now I connect the points together using my straight ruler. So now I'll measure 2 inches on the bust line and then 2 inches on the waist point, and then I connect it together like this. We don't need zip allowance on this corset top because we'll be using loop after. So I'll cut out everything that we don't need like we did on the front piece also. So I trim it out like this. And now I'm going to cut out these 2 inches that we measured earlier because we won't be using it. We'll be working with loop after. So this is what it looks like, and I label it the back. So this is what it looks like after. So the front and the back pattern are ready. So guys, I will show us how to join the corset together in the next video. So don't forget to turn on your notification bell and subscribe so you get notified when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching guys. I will see you guys in my next video.